everyone. It's Kimber Schaefer here with Rage in the Cage OKC News, and we are hanging out at R1 MMA here in Choctaw, Oklahoma, and we are talking all things Rage in the Cage 43. And Ken Coulter, you are at the top of the list when we talk Rage in the Cage 43. You are facing J.R. Coughlin. You guys are the main event. You are no stranger to being the main event on a Rage in the Cage card, even as an amateur. When we did a fundraiser event a couple of years ago, our very first one for the Denny family, was your first time fighting as a main event. But how important is this fight for you? I mean, I know every fight is important, but, you know, this one, is it kind of it's going to be a battle. You're facing a tough competitor. So how are you going into this? Are you going in with full confidence?
Always confident in my ability to show up and perform. I train hard. I know he does the same thing. So basically, I'm just happy because we're going to have a guaranteed fight this time, and we don't know what's going to happen, you know. So I hope you guys show up to see. We got to see what's going to happen. I think I'm going to win, of course. He thinks he's going to win, but we really don't know.
That's true, and that's what's so great about you guys, the fans. You got to come out because this one is going to be a nail biter, I'm telling you, because you guys are such tough fighters. And, you know, we were talking about, Ken, you've got, I think this is your 11th fight for Rage in the Cage, and every single one of them have been tough competitors. You have gone against the best. You went against Jacob Bell at one time, which I believe was a Naga champion. I mean, and, you know, you came out victorious in that fight. And I remember, you know, he had you in 3 separate triangle chokes, and you would not give in. I mean, you were just so relentless, and you went home with a victory that night. In fact, in your entire fight career, you've only lost once, and then you come around and you had a rematch, and then you won the rematch for that fight. So tell me about, you know, how your career has gone from day one. I mean, when you went against somebody that, you know, people didn't expect you to come out victorious, and you have always proven people wrong. And, you know, you have gone from, you know, like you said before, having very few fans to now being able to sell those tables and those premium tickets. So how does it feel to have such a great backing behind you?
It's a blessing. I mean, I feel completely blessed and blown away by my support, my sponsors, everyone that shows me love and just, you know, gives me confidence to keep pushing on and not to slack off, you know, just keep moving forward. And so, I mean, I just thank them all from the bottom of my heart because they're amazing. Like every last one of them. They show up, they're loud. Half of them are hoarse the next day. I mean, it's just a blessing.
The one thing about you, Ken, is I really respect you so much is that you never back down from a fight. I mean, you had kind of a botched weight cut. We understand that. It happens to everybody. It's your first in your career. You've learned from it. I'm assuming you're not going to have that mistake again. And but you're just moving forward, and you've always, you know, you've taken ownership of all your mistakes. But let's not, you know, we don't even have to talk about that. But I do want to talk about the person that you are, the man behind the fighter. You're an amazing man who, no matter what the situation, if somebody is in need, you are the first person that's there. When we've had our fundraisers at Rage in the Cage, whether it be for the Denny family, we've had fundraisers for several fighters that are battling disease. We've had fundraisers for, you know, family members of fighters. You're always the first one there to donate your ticket sales, to fight for free, whatever it might be, to give to somebody else. Well, currently you've got a coat drive going on. I don't know a lot of details about that, so let us know what people out there can do to help you in your mission to give to others.
Basically, it's for the homeless. Coats for grown people, adults. It's not really for kids. And blankets. I need whatever old blankets you got, I can use them. So please, if you could, it'd be nice if you watched them. But I'll take anything at this point. I mean, I'm just going to go out and feed them, sit out in the cold with them, and try to, you know, uplift their spirits a little bit. And so anything you guys can do, especially blankets. I need a lot of blankets, so please send me blankets.
What's the date for this, Ken?
I haven't put an official date on this one, but it's typically going to be one of our coldest days of the year, which is somewhere around ending of January, early February. So somewhere in there, I'll get one and get it anchored down, and I'll know for sure and have it in stone. But right now, I'm just trying to collect as many blankets as possible.
So let's put a date on it. January 23rd. You guys show up to Rage in the Cage to see Ken Coulter fight. But also, if you would, please show up with a blanket to donate to Ken Coulter in this cause and to the homeless people in Oklahoma City who, you know, they struggle in every way as far as food and stuff. But we definitely don't want them to be cold. So please help in this way if you can.
Yes, please. But back to the fight, January 23rd. It's going to be fireworks. I don't think I've ever put on a boring fight. I've seen JR get down, and this kid can fight. So I think you guys got to show up to this one.
Definitely, I think show up. So let's talk about long-term for you, Ken. I know that here pretty soon you're going to be fighting for a title, as I understand, versus Edwin that trains also here at R1. What's after that? Do you have any plans?
Really, just win, lose, or draw, come back and continue to add to my career and try to hopefully take this thing to the UFC. I mean, the sky's the limit. I feel like I'm blessed enough talent-wise. All I got to do is just keep working hard, and hopefully it'll happen.
I hope so. I hope so for you. Let's talk about, the fight with Edwin where you didn't make weight. I know you pretty well to know that you are not somebody to hold grudges. You're not somebody to hate, to dislike. How do you go from that when I know that you may have felt attacked from everything that was said about you? How do you keep that positive in your mind?
It's a lot of talk. Who cares? I don't have time for it. That's why I excluded myself from the whole running your mouth bit. I'm going to show up. We're going to fight. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I'm not looking to talk trash. I'm just looking to show up and fight. So lead by example, I guess.
And I love that. I think that's all you can do sometimes is, when somebody's questioning who you are as a person or a fighter, is just continue doing what you do best and just being a good person. Is that kind of your advice to anybody out there that's going through a struggle?
Everybody, keep your head up and just keep grinding, man. There's going to be people that doubt you. There's going to be people who talk bad about you. But if that's not you, don't let it affect you. Just turn the other head and just go. Words is words. Let it go. We're going to fight, and let's just take it to an action. We already know we're going to fight. Let's fight. There's no need to beef it up with words or be disrespectful towards my opponent, because I don't even let my fans boo my opponent. So, we're going to be a class act, win, lose, or draw, and that's really what we're going to do. We're just going to lead by example.
And I can say that personally, that I know you pretty well after you fighting for us 11 times, and I think I've done about that many interviews of you, is that you are a class act, and I've said it many a times in the past, and I'll say it again tonight. Let's give a chance for you to talk about your home gym. You've been at AMA for probably close to a year now. Is that right? And so let's talk a little bit about, how you feel about your gym and how Kendrick Coleman has really played a role in the fighter that you are today.
Coach is always driving, not just me. He treats us all the same. He works us all out, and he's an amazing man. He's a really, really good coach. He has passion. You can see it in his face. You can hear it in his voice. It's a great place. I don't ever see myself finding another gym because I found home, and now we're just ready to go back home. And that's the way it is when we go on that mat at AMA. It's home. And everybody's family. The coaching staff there is amazing. Between Kendrick Coleman, I got Eric Woodson, I got Ruben, I got Dale Arbuckle. It's a bunch of solid guys up there that come up there and they train us to the best of their ability. And so I just want to thank them for that.
Let me ask you, too, I know you've got some adorable little children running around at home. You also have a career with 2 or 3 jobs that, in order to support your family. How do you manage to fit it all in?
A lot of praying and just go. You don't have time to worry about the time and fitting it in. Just go. If you got somewhere to be, just be there and get there on time.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ken Coulter. Any last words before we wrap it up tonight?
Team Coulter, man, thank you guys. I love all of you guys. You're such a blessing. Always my sponsors from Little Troopers Learning Center, Ray Oliver, Jackie. You guys are amazing. I thank you guys. Steve Hayes with Interlink Diagnostics. Then I have Birdheart Media, Larry Schrock Enterprise LLC, and then also all of our media teams. We got John Kaiser. You got to say what's up to Grip Media, and then, of course, Matt Jackson, who's behind the camera. Thank you guys, and without y'all I wouldn't be anywhere to be found on the internet, so thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ken Coulter. Come and see a main event, Ken Coulter versus J.R. Coffrin, Rage in the Cage 43. It's going down Saturday, January 23rd at the Oklahoma City Farmers Public Market. You can get tickets from this guy or any other fighter on the card, and we hope to see you there.